Now you find that kind of awkward. A dog that laughs. That's a demon, you know.
Yeah, because
they got that laugh, that cackling.
That's how Edomites. That's Edomites, man. That's the line is Jake, yeah, Jacob, and they're the Edomites. Gang mentality, and the woman they're just the same. When a woman if you get a holy but Edomite woman and you speak as a man against them, all them Edomite women, they're all gonna stick together. You know, it's the same thing. Demonic, man.
Feminism type of thing, isn't it? It's demonic, man.
In the Christian,
like I said, you can learn a lot from watching animals.
Yeah.
Man. You know, you can learn a lot. Because if you check, like I said, the hyena is matriarchal. And if you check the so-called black Jake houses, it's run by women. It's matriarchal too. Right. The woman is the one running it, and the sons, you know, they grow up effeminate. They grow up to be mama's boys, and then the daughters get trained to be you know, you can do it all by yourself. You don't need a man, because they got that from their mom. They get trained to be masculine, you know, to run the man out the house. You get what I mean? Vagina worship, man.
Yeah.
Manginas and stuff.
Yep.
That's why there's so much discrepancy in these neighborhoods, because the way that the family is set up in these communities is the wrong way. So if you're putting a woman above the man, then basically the family's already destroyed on that.
Yeah.
So that's why everything gotta be in order. You know, once everything's in order, then the family construct would be in order. You understand? And this is why we're here. So we're here to bring about the order of Yahawashi, which is the old way. Because we've tried so many different ways, man. We've been through different captivities, you know, throughout the times, and we've tried the ways of the heathen, and it's never worked. Okay? But when we tried the correct way, which is the way of the scriptures, by keeping the commandments there, that's when everything worked out. You know? So, like we always like to say, this is a learning curve. When we see Jake in the predicament at the end, and a lot of the times, man, like, you know, because you kind of have to like observe people and study why people do the things that they do, you know. And a lot of the times, the reason why Jake is you know, always up to no good, because of, you know, the circumstances that they've had to deal with when they were children and what have you. So it molded them to be the, you know, the people that they are today. And it all goes back to the curses, you know. But all of that's going to change, man, because what I want to get into is the coming of the Lord. Now what you have is these so-called white people, you know, within these powerful positions. What they're doing is they're looking to investigate, or they are investigating what they call UFOs or AUPs. And while they're investigating these things, they're trying to analyze and detect and to kind of like, you know, study how these things are operating. And I was dealing with this I was speaking on this on the video that I did, and I kind of went into it briefly. But I want to go into it furthermore, being that we're out here and we have the floor to speak the words of the Lord, you know. So the scripture that I want a brother to get is Jeremiah the 4th chapter. Start with verse 6. You can see what the Lord is getting ready to do. The Lord is getting ready to put things right.
Take it out, brother. Take it out and do it. Put it back in.
Because our curse and our iniquity is accomplished. So now the Lord is going to bring up exactly what's fulfilled in the scripture concerning the kingdom of heaven. That's what's going to be set up real soon. We're transitioning now. So it's really a matter of time before the Messiah makes a second return. You know, and the powers that be, they know that the powers in the you know, the different dimensions, they know they're about to make their appearance, or they are making their appearance as we speak. Because every single day I see chariots moving around, standing in one one position in the sky. And you got these investigator planes investigating in that, you know, and you got the chariots knocking investigator planes So the Lord is showing himself. The Most High is showing himself by his angels. That's why he's known as the Lord of hosts. Because he has his angels all around in the outer atmosphere, into the heavens. And the government knows about this, but what they don't want to get out is what's really going on in these skies. Even though people can see for themselves, but they don't want people to pay attention to that, because then it's going to get people off track concerning their one world order system. Because then people are going to realize, well, wait a minute, there's another power beyond this power. So to keep people astray from that, let's just mind boggle the people with all kind of nonsense and bullshit, you know? Especially what they do to Jake. But anyway, I don't want to talk too much. I want you to read somebody read Jeremiah the 4th chapter. Yeah, and then after that, get the Psalms 106. Psalms 106, verse 10. You're going, brother.
They're from 6, right?
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Psalms 106, verse 1. Read all the way down to verse 10. Yeah, get that first.
Jeremiah 4 and 6, it says, set up the standard towards Zion, retire, stay not, for I will bring evil from the north and great destruction.
Oh, yeah. You're going, brother.
The lion
It's in my back, brother.
is come up from his thicket.
Yeah, it says the lion has come from his thicket. You see? So in other words, the Lord is getting ready to come through his entrance and enter into this realm. Because people like to talk about, you know, the second coming of the Christ and all of the above, but they don't really know how he's coming back. We know exactly how he's coming back. And the way he's coming back is by those chariots. He's coming with the thousands and thousands of heaven. Okay, to make a point to show who's really running the show. Who has always been running the show all of this time.
Right.
You see? And this is why we're here standing up before everybody, to declare the way, to prepare the way to the people that, look, this is what's getting ready to happen. You know, and as we always say in Great Millstone, before the Most High ends an empire, what does he do? He sets up prophets, men to give the message before the decree takes place. So what is the decree that's going to take place? The return of the Messiah. All right, so before the Messiah makes a second return, we have to give the truth about the Messiah. And this is it right here. Now you have so many other camps. You have all of these alphabetical camps, such as the IUIC, the HODC, the AOC, all right, the GOCC church. You have all of these different churches that are bringing about the truth, you know, in their way. But then you have a church such as Great Millstone that's bringing out the 100% truth, and that are real sincere about what they're reading, and that are keeping it real. We're not coming out here with fancy garments and you know, Power Ranger looking armbands. We're not coming out here like that. We're coming out here of the sincerity of our heart. We're keeping it real. You know, as the Lord wants us to be. The Lord wants us to be genuine about this thing. Go on, brother, read this.
This is Job 4 and 24. The Most High is a spirit, and they that worship him
That's the one.
must worship him in spirit and in truth.
Yeah, so this is not a thing of you bragging and boasting and standing up here looking like a Power Ranger, man. When you come into this truth, you have to understand and know that you are in a relationship with your Maker. And with that being said, you have to pray. You have to do all that you can to ask for mercy, man. Because we know that the Lord is getting ready to come back. It's not about a bunch of Edomites coming around you and kissing your boot, and putting videos on YouTube, getting countless of views. Hey, shalom, brother, all of this other stuff. It ain't all about that, man. It's all about you returning to the Lord and knowing that you were sorry for the things that you did, and not doing those things no more. Because when he comes back, the Lord, he's going to come back furiated. He's going to come back angry. Okay? Go on, brother.
Got a precept. This is 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 12. Having your conversation honest among the Gentiles.
Right, having your conversation honest amongst the Gentiles. Where are we at? We're amongst the Gentiles. So again, as I'm going to say, when you come into this truth, you have to be sincerely honest with yourself. And as you do so, you apply that with the scriptures. When you come and bring out these scriptures, you're bringing out these scriptures due to your honesty and your fear in the Lord. All right? Like, for example, like if I don't know a certain scripture, I'm going to ask this brother, yo, the word, you know, such and such, whatever, you know? Because I want to make sure if I'm bringing a message to you, it's got to be correct. So I don't mislead the other members that follow the camp, you know? Go on, brother.
Yes, it says, having your conversation honest among the Gentiles, that whereas they speak against you as evildoers, they may by your good works, which they shall behold, glorify the Most High in the day of visitation.
Exactly, because we're surrounded by our own people, and our own people are what you call spiritual Gentiles. So you're going to have people such as what we used to be. We used to be Gentiles. We was out there in the world doing what the world was doing. Okay? But, so basically, you know, there's a chance for even the Gentile of our people, which are the elect, can return back to this if we are honest with the Lord in conversation. All right? So this is the thing, man. Like, and you know what too? Like the Apostle Paul said, more and more as the times go forward, a lot of individuals are fighting the Hebrew Israelites, and there's one group who they favor now, and that's GMS. And the reason being is because GMS, they're the truth, man. We stand for the truth. We exemplify the truth. You know, there's no gimmicks, there's no isms or schisms. We are the truth. Like Yahawashi, he was the exemplifier of the word, right? We are also exemplifiers of the word. We follow him, so therefore we become the word such as himself. Okay? Go on, brother.
Jeremiah 4:7.
You finished with that, Dewar?
Yeah.
You sure?
I was looking at another scripture.
Okay, we're going, brother.
Jeremiah 4:7. The lion has come up from his thicket, and the destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way.
Right, and the destroyer of the Gentiles on his way, because when the Lord comes back, he's coming to subdue all of the kings of today that are in high positions of power today. They swear down that they're going to be the next to rule the world. China, Russia. They're not going to be the next to rule anything. They're going to be the next ones in captivity, serving us. That's what's going to happen. Okay. And meanwhile, the ones that were not thought of wearing a crown, they're going to wear the crown. Listen, the Apocrypha. The one who has never thought of wearing the crown shall wear the crown. We're going to be the crown wearers. We're going to return back to our first estate where we was before. During the time of King David and King Solomon, when King David was on the scene, Israel was doing good. When King Solomon was on the scene, we was doing good. But we're going to revert back to that. We're going to be doing good all over again, but this time it's going to be forever. And this is what the Lord, Yahawah Hasham Yahawashi, is preparing before us, brother. And the men of the Lord that's out here that have this truth, the potential men of the Lord, we got to count ourselves worthy, because we could have been just like these people out here. Just like Jake, you know the truth, have witnessed the truth, but can't seem to grasp the truth or gain understanding of this. And then therefore, at the end thereof, they're going to be destroyed. You see, and sometimes you kind of feel bad for these sheiks out here, because it's like, damn, you know, you want them to get it, but they'll never get it. Yeah. But it's all through the Spirit of the Lord. The Lord chose us. We didn't choose the Lord. The Lord chose us, and he gave us this knowledge and this understanding. Like the brother priest Bashai, he used to be in the Washington camp. You know, he said something that was king, and what he was saying is that the office of a prophet is very special. And I might go into that later on as well, Lord willing. But anyway, let's continue, brother. What you have?
This is Daniel 2:34.
Yeah.
Concerning Yahawah's kingdom. Thou sawest till that stone was cut out.
I tell you what, brother, hold it. That's a good one. I want you to read this again.
Jeremiah 4:7. The lion is come up from his thicket, and the destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way.
Right, and the destroyer of the Gentile is on his way. The lion has come out of his thicket. It's according to the book of Revelation, the 5th chapter. It says that he's what is it? The conquering of the, or what is it? He's the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah, coming forth to conquer. So that's going to be what's going to come next. Yahawashi is going to conquer all of these people, all of these nations, and show the nations and the world who's really running things and who's boss of the planet. Okay? And once Yahawashi reigns supreme, then that image is going to be exalted. And we have the same image as he does. So if we have the same image of Yahawashi, what's going to happen? Well, we are going to be exalted. The nation of Israel is going to be exalted. The reason why all of these other nations subscribe to the so-called white man in the suit and tie and the turkey neck, because this image is on the face of the earth. So much that the Moabites have done away with their ancient customs. Now they're wearing suits and ties. So much so that even the Elamites over there have done away with their ancient customs, and they're wearing suits and ties. Every nation under the sun is wearing a suit and tie when they go and meet these Edomitic prime ministers. All right, because, and plus when you go, let's say for example you want to go be a pilot, you have to speak English. That's the ultimate language of the planet, because his image is on the planet. So our image is going to be on the planet, but it's going to begin with Yahawashi, and everybody's going to speak that Lashma Kodash. So if these nations are going to do business with us, they better know that Lashma Kodash. They better know it. They're going to go to school learning that language. They gonna know everything, and they gonna understand what we're saying. Go on, brother.
This is Daniel's 2.
No, Salak. Yeah. Go on, brother.
Right. Continuing on Jeremiah 4 and 7, it says, "He is gone forth from his place to make thy land desolate."
Right. He has gone forth from his place. What is his place? He sat on the right hand side of the Father, right, the throne. So he's gonna come from his place and make desolate whatever it is that you see out there. That's what's coming in this reality. And the powers that be dealing with America, the powers that be in this country, they know that the Lord is getting ready to come back. They see the signs in heavens, they see the chariots and the angels, and you have all of these investigating planes flying about. Because they know the deal, man. And what's going to happen is they're going to have to set up a meeting. And I've been thinking about this because if you notice, there's certain brothers in GMS and the GMS camps that always see the chariots. And when they see the chariots, they're like, Shalom, Yahawashi, you know? And they're excited to see it. So the powers that be, they looking like, who the hell are these guys?
Right.
Who the hell are these niggas, man? You understand? So, I mean, you can kind of see that there's going to be a meeting. We're going to have to meet with the big boys, man. That's running this whole entire system. But then that's when we ain't going to have to meditate about saying anything. Because Yahawashi is going to speak through us. Whatever it is that we're going to say then, hey, Yahawashi is going to speak through us. And we're going to say what we got to say to them in his spirit.
Just like the second Maccabees, the 7 brothers, Antiochus Epiphanes was getting ready to he wanted them to submit to his to his the way the Greek way. And then they would pretty much said like fuck you, innit?
Yeah.
One after the next, innit? Down to the youngest. And then through the spirit, before they got put to death, they all through the spirit they said their portion to Antiochus Epiphanes through the spirit, innit? So yeah.
Come on. Yeah, so that's how it's gonna be. When we meet these guys, we're gonna tell them what's gonna happen. We're gonna tell them about themselves. I don't know what we're gonna say specifically, but basically, yeah, we're gonna tell them something that we gotta say. All right. So yeah, man. So yeah, continue with that, brother.
It says, "He's gone forth from his place to make thy land desolate."
Right. And what land is he gonna make desolate? He's gonna make America desolate. That's gonna be the only land that mankind will never dwell in no more. Now, you're gonna have something else that's gonna dwell on the planet. That's something else, all those creatures, when you read in the book of Isaiah 30, I believe it's 34, if I'm correct. So, this is the thing, man. America's gonna be no more. You see how America looks right now, and what it used to be and what it stood for, man. All of that's gonna be done away with. The whole thing about I gotta go to America to make a better way of living and what have you, and the celebrities and the pop stars and what have you. All of that's gonna be disintegrated, man. All of that's gonna be done. It took America to build itself for centuries, and the Lord is gonna knock it out in 1 hour. In 1 hour. something that took centuries to build up is going to be knocked out in 1 hour. So the Lord is coming with, like you said, brother, anger. All right, we gonna hit these scriptures, man. It's all through the Spirit. Go on, brother.
It says, and thy city shall be laid waste without an inhabitant.
Right, and thy cities shall be laid waste without an inhabitant. Going back to what it said in Isaiah. What did Isaiah say? He said that no man shall dwell in the land of Babylon. You're gonna have those doleful creatures that are gonna dwell in that land. That land is gonna be no more. It's gonna be wiped out. Now, you may think to believe that America will never be taken down because of the amount of aircraft carriers it's got, the amount of gunpowder it's got. But what's happening is the world that America used to do business with is going to turn against America, and they're going to shoot at her. All right, because America is strong, but it ain't strong enough to take on the world. America's going to have to take on the world. Superpower countries such as China, such as Russia, and they're all linking together. And then also there was, I think you sent an article on how they're not agreeing with the sanctions.
Right, against Iran.
Against Iran. Because because you're going, brother. No, speak, bro.
Yeah, US want to put sanctions on Iran. Even the UK and some other country, they're not backing in it, so they're kind of rebelling against allying themselves with America, man. So you can already see the tide kind of changing.
Yep.
How all the original alliances that America had with these other nations, they're breaking that allegiance.
Yep.
Breaking it.
Because America and Britain and France and the EU, they're all supposed to work together. Calling themselves the North Atlantic Treaty, the North Atlantic Organizers or Organization, NATO. They were supposed to work together, and that's what made them superior to rule the earth. That's why Esau was able to subdue the planet, because they all came together. And this is how you know we're in a time of their downfall, because their house is divided now. Because they should have just went ahead and accept the sanction. Okay. Anyway, what you got?
For this, gird you with sackcloth, lament and howl, for the fierce anger of the Lord is not turned back from us.
Right.
And it shall come to pass at that day, saith the Lord, that the heart of the king shall perish, and the heart of the princes and the priests shall be astonished, and the prophets shall wonder.
Yeah, because in this society you have priest men, you have spiritual men on the left-hand side, like the Roman Catholics. And then you also have your different politicians and your prime minister, which he would be the king. Okay, and all those that are a part of this, what they call the shadow government, so we call it the secret government. So they're all going to be destroyed. They're all going to be taken out. Now we're going to read this scripture now.
What's in Isaiah 34?
No,
Daniel's.
yeah.
This is Daniel's 2. And 34, thou sawest too that stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet, that were of iron and clay, and break them to pieces. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, the gold broken to pieces together, and became like the chaff of the summer fleshing floors, and the winds carried them away, but no place was found for them. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain, and filled the whole earth. This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king.
They read it again, brother.
Daniel's 2 and 34. Thou sawest till that stone was cut out without hands, and smote the image upon his feet, that were of iron, clay, and break them to pieces. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together, and became like the chaff of the summer pleasant floors. And the wind carried them away, but no place was found for them. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain, and filled the whole earth.
Yeah, read it again now.
Thou sawest till that stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet, that were of iron, clay, and break them to pieces.
Yeah, because what happened was there was no man on the face of the earth that can actually interpret the vision. that Nebuchadnezzar had, because Nebuchadnezzar had a vision, and he didn't understand the vision, and he was hasty for somebody to interpret the vision for him. So what happened was Daniel is now breaking down the vision to him about what the statue represents, which the statue represents all of these other empires that was going to come after him. All right, so let's read it. Let's continue on.
Verse 45, then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together and became like the chaff of the summer fleshing floors.
Right, that's the dragon in Revelation, the 12th chapter. You can get me Revelation 12, brother. 12 verse 7, somebody give me Revelation 12. I'll tell you what, you hold that, give me Revelation 12 and 7. Yeah. Yeah, because you're going to read that. Yeah, give me Revelations 12 and 7.
Revelations 12 and 7. And there was war in heaven.
Yeah.
Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. And the dragon fought and his angels and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. The great dragon was cast out.
Right, it says the great dragon was cast out. Now what is that dragon? That dragon represents the EU nations. And also the woman that was sitting on the scarlet colored beast was American. In other words, it represents this whole entire empire. So the dragon, which represents the EU, okay, which is this Roman Empire, because when they got together, when the European countries came together, I believe it was in 1949. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. It was either 49 or I believe it was 58. But anyway, they got together and they formulated themselves as the treaty known as the Treaty of Rome. So that was the restructuring of Rome, and ever since then, you know, they've been together. But now what you have is you have these nations. You have other European countries that came out of the original 10. But this is still Rome, basically. Go on, brother. The last leg of Rome. Go on.
And the great dragon was cast out, the old serpent, called the devil.
Right, called the devil, the old serpent, which is known as the devil. So why does John the Revelator describe this individual as the old serpent? Going back to the garden. When Eve was deceived, now was there an actual snake or a serpent? No. It was a man that came that had an attribute of a serpent. And deceived Eve, and then Adam followed through. So Esau's coming with the same techniques that he used against Eve and Adam in the garden. But he's using it more on a bigger scale because he got the media and other tools that he used to manipulate your minds to follow his ways. And also the school systems too. Go on, brother.
And the serpent represents wisdom.
Yes. Yep. Yep.
And Satan, which deceiveth the whole world, he was cast out into the earth.
Right, and deceiveth the whole world, because during the time of Rome only ruled in certain areas of the world. But when Rome came back all over again, which we're living in right now, this Rome influenced the whole world. This is why a lot of people are taking heed to being a sodomite over there in Elam now and other countries. And you have even women in Saudi Arabia that's shaking their ass like the women in the West do. You know, they're influenced of the whole culture. So why are all these nations trying to be like the West? Because of the influences of the West. So this prophecy here is playing out right now. Go on, brother. This dragon.
And his angels were cast out with him.
And his angels was cast out with him. What is this talking about? His air forces. Because Esau's going to have his air forces fighting up against the chariots. But even that's going to be cast out. So the war in heaven, you can further read on this in the book of 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter. The 13th chapter of 2nd Esdras goes into the war of heaven more specifically. But John the Revelator, he just touches it on briefly, you know? Go on, brother.
And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power.
Right, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power. So who is the Lord a God unto? He's the God unto Israel. And we are the Israelites, not those people over there in the Israeli state which was formulated in 1948. We're not talking about the 1948ers. This is talking about us. Okay? Go on, brother.
And the strength and kingdom of our power and the power of Mashiach.
And see, the elites, they know the prophecies. Because Esau searches out everything, man. They even trying to search out the ways of the UFO, what they call UFOs. But I'm going to show you, no matter how much they try to study or investigate, they've already lost the war because you can't find out the ways of the Most High. I'm going to get into that later on, though. Go on, brother.
For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which
Right.
accuse them.
No, go on.
Which accuse them before our power day and night.
Right, which accuse us before our power day and night. They prayed to the Lord and say, see, look what your people are doing. While they're taking on our customs or claiming to be us, they're telling the Most High, look what your people are doing. Because they think in their mind they can out-trick the Most High. But how can you out-trick the Most High when the Most High created your jackasses, man? When the Most High gave you the mind and the ability to rule so that you could simply fulfill His will. You can't do that, man. Okay? And also, on top of that, it was already set up in the spirit that they would overtake the land. It says that until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled, Jerusalem would be trodden until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. So they're fulfilling that right there. So you can't out-trick the Most High. That's impossible, man. He comes before time. He already set up within a period of time what you're going to do. No, baby boy, go on, brother.
And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb.
Right, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb. Who overcame this beast? The elect. We overcame this man. It was written that we overcame. So if it was written that we overcame, then basically the game was rigged to our favor. We've already won. And this is what Esau is trying to stop. And I don't blame Esau. Because Esau got to do what he has to do. Esau knows what's coming next in front of him. And I'm talking about the powers that be, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers. They all know the deal, man. And that's why they're using all of this music, technology, or the media to dumb our people down. Like they got this they got these two nasty ass broads and basically sexualizing the young kids.
Oh shit, that one. Yeah.
One of them might
Cardi
not
B
even
and-
one of them might not even be a fraud, man.
Khan.
Man.
Never know.
Khan.
Yeah, so this is what Esau's doing. Esau's trying to hypersexualize the girls, man.
Yeah.
Hypersexualize every person on the planet. To get people off course.
Yeah.
And really to get our people off course because we're waking up to them. So they had to use that to distract our people. But that's not going to happen, man. Now, you can distract these individuals out here, but you can no longer at all distract the elect. Now, we were distracted at one time, but that doesn't necessarily mean we're going to be distracted again. Okay, because there was a period of a time that the elect would come back to who they are. All right? And once the elect return back to the Heavenly Father, they're going to speak His words unto the people. And all of these other nations, they're going to know what's up. All right? And this is the time that was fulfilled to be. Go on, brother.
Yeah, because the Cardi B video, yeah, and there's a Netflix documentary talking about coming out. They're saying it's going to come out. Young cuties, young girls.
Yeah. I
Not
was
even,
checking that.
yeah, not even teenagers, but there's an uproar about that,
Yeah.
saying, "What is this about? Trying to sexualize the
Sexualizing the young people.
getting them to twerk and all that." So, if it comes out, the Most High lets it out. But there's a lot of even the niggers, you know, even Jake, the niggers who don't know the truth, are saying this is way out of order.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the women, they're backing them sluts, man.
Well, I was thinking, that's what I was thinking. Who are their parents? They're letting them do that documentary.
Now, there's a Netflix thing called, what was it called?
Cuties, yeah.
Yeah.
Cuties,
Check that out.
and it's all Jake's young girls, all of the tribes and other Edomites, like young girls twerking in the documentary,